Hi, I'm Tim Richards. This is the final clip I've made relating to Volume 1 of the Exploring Jazz Piano book. This time we're going to talk about ninth chords, major, minor and dominant ninth chords, and also rootless voicings. It's common practice to add the ninth to any four-note shape in jazz. So for instance a C major 7 chord, if you add the ninth you get a 5-note shape, root, 3, 5, 7, 9. Notice the ninth is the same as the second, but it's an octave higher. So that's C major 9. If it was a dominant chord, you have a B flat, a flattened 7th. So that's C9. Remember that C9 is like C7 with an added 9th. And finally, C minor 9 would have an E flat in. So that's like C minor 7 with an added 9th. Now most people can't stretch a 5-note chord with one hand. Therefore it's very common to drop the root, play it in the left hand, or just to leave it for the bass player. So C major 7 with a 9th, C major 9. Without the root, if you look at it by itself, it looks just like E minor 7. That's a 3, 5, 7, 9 shape, a rootless shape. If we do the same for C9, take the C away, what we're left with looks like E half diminished, or E minor 7 flat 5. And C minor 9, take the root away, it looks like the right hand is playing E flat major 7. But of course it's not, because we know that the root is C. So the tune Still Dreaming on page 182 starts off with F major 7 and E flat major 7, 2 bars each alternating, but the right hand can play the top part of the chord, 3, 5, 7, 9. In other words, what looks like A minor 7 for the F. Now when we improvise over that tune, we can do the same thing in the left hand. Before that, I want to look at using these ninth shapes in the right hand. I'll just play a simple root and fifth in the bass, and I'll play some arpeggios in the right hand that not only go root 3, 5, 7, but also 3, 5, 7, 9, and try and make some phrases out of that. Now if I want to do something similar and play chords in the left hand, I've got a choice. I can play ordinary F major 7, but I could also play rootless F major 9. Even more interesting and more contemporary would be to replace the 5th and 6th with a single note in the middle. So this would now be the 6th, so I'm now really playing F 6, 9. So this brings us into the realm of quartal harmony, in other words harmony based on fourths, and you can hear it sounds much more contemporary, especially if I put in some right hand arpeggios with ninths in. There's a whole bunch of ninth voicings that you should know in which the chords are split between the hands. these voicings come in families. There's a whole family with a root and seventh shell in the left hand, for instance. We could describe this as the root 7 3 5 9 family. So there's C major 9, root and seventh in the left hand, that's your shell. And the right hand is playing the third, the fifth and the ninth. Now if you wish, you can play that ninth next to the third, and it makes a more compact voicing. So this formula, root 7 3 5 9, is worth memorizing. You can use it, you can adapt it to fit any chord. For instance, C9, the dominant ninth. Same thing, but we have a flattened seventh in the left hand. And once again we can play the ninth in the right hand at the bottom instead of the top. It's worth mentioning also that very often the fifth moves up to the sixth, or is replaced by the sixth. So instead of, you get, immediately sounds more jazzy, doesn't it? So that would be called a 13th. So you need to know that C13 is short for C7 with an added sixth, and it could have the ninth in as well. This one does on top. Back to our root 7 3 5 9. Let's alter it for minor now. We need to make sure there's a minor third in the right hand. So it's root 7 flat 3 5 9. And the equivalent with the ninth in the middle. Really useful voicings. The other family is like the opposite way round. We have the root and third on the bottom, and G major 9 would look like this. Root 3 7 9 5. The same notes but permutated in a different way. I've chosen G because that keeps it in the same register as the C chords we were just looking at. So here's a major chord without a seventh. Really common and useful voicing. Root 3 6 9 5. Again, a lot of a quartal sound there because of all these perfect fourths. Now back to dominant, G9, we need an F natural in there. And if it's minor, we need the minor third, G minor 9, and finally we could do G minor 6 9, so the seventh is replaced by the sixth. That's a lovely voicing, kind of dark sounding chord. There you go, two-handed voicings. Learn them and use them. Right, well, we're going to go back to rootless voicings now. 3 5 7 9 shapes. Let's think about E minor 9. So here's a full chord. Take away the E, play a bass line, we get the beginning of cloud 9 on page 196. We'll finish off this clip on rootless voicings with our old friend the 251. Back to 251 arpeggio workout, for instance over the A minor D7 G major section, you might play your rootless voicings like this. So that's alternating 7-3-5 with 3-7-9 with 7-3-5. Those are standard 3-note voicings used by all jazz pianists. In order to get them under your fingers, practice them round the cycle as in the workout. If you want to play scales in the right hand, choose a Dorian scale for the first 2 chords. That's will be fine for the D9 as well, and then just merge it into G major or G6. Just a major chord with the 6th or the 7th in. Okay, you've noticed they're the same scale, but by using the Dorian on A minor and thinking of it as Dorian rather than G major, we've tailored the scale to the chord to fit much better than just thinking horizontally in G major. So try improvising using those scales. You can do that with the track, with the backing track. And finally, let's just look at playing 2-5-1s with some 9th arpeggios. So we can start on the root, but go up to the 9th, and I'm going to include some encircling as well. Okay, so I've given you a little taste of Exploring Jazz Piano 1, the content, the pieces and the play-along tracks. There's plenty more in there to enjoy. Have fun, and see you later for Volume 2.